we gather together to transform each other, ourselves, each other, and the world. It is good to be together, to share our flowers, to see one another's offerings, to see one another's faces this morning. So let us take a moment to share just our audio so that we can hear each other say welcome, say hello to everybody, and then we'll turn our audio back off until the end of the service. Let's say hello. Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome.
Summer.
Hi.
Everyone.
Hi.
Good morning.
Some people
Hello,
who
everyone.
sent stuffies. Eye out for them. You'll see them.
Either way, it's good.
Okay. You can see the order of service by following the link in the chat. And that way you can follow lots of stuff going on. And that's really important today, not only for the lyrics, but also because we have a litany of welcome for new members. And you're going to want to be able to join in that. A couple of announcements I want to add, other than the many you can link to from the order of service. The memorial service for Bryce Perry will take place on Zoom next Sunday, June 28th at 2 p.m. The full information, including the password, will be sent out on our news list like Announce and CYRE Parents. So if you're not a subscriber but you're interested, you can follow the link in the order of service to find out how to get the password. After the service again today, we will have breakout rooms. Thank you so much for bearing with the experiment and giving us lots of feedback on how it worked for you. In response to the things we've heard, we're going to try them with about 6 to 8 people for 15 minutes this week. And the host can help you into another breakout room so you can talk to lots of different folks. I'll tell you more about that in a bit. Humans can only attend our services online right now for safety's sake. But stuffed animals and dolls do not get COVID, so they can be here in person. So I have some introductions to make. Please join me in welcoming Stitch, Angel, Pengui, Dogga, Francis, Bear, Lady, Momo, Squeak, Cheer, Elephant, Raccoony, Monsty, Belinda, and Duncan. They had a sleepover at church. In the way of sleepovers, it's possible they didn't get a lot of sleep. And we are so glad they are joining our flower communion today, along with their chaperones, Ms. Bear and Mr. Bear, and their tech support, Dr. Sharpie Ann. It really has made a big difference to me this morning and in preparation for this service to know that I was not going to be just me and our camera operator, Melissa, in the room. And now, let us begin our service. This past day has been the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. From now until December, the darkness returns bit by bit, a longer night each night. Now, neither flowers nor we would thrive if the sun shone all the time. We need the dark. So even as we light our chalice, we give thanks with these words. Blessed is the dark, in which our dreams stir and are revealed. Blessed is the dark of earth, where seeds come to life. Blessed are the depths of the ocean, where no light shimmers, the womb of all earthly life. Blessed is the light into which we wake, the light that sparkles on the waters, that calls the tree forth from the seed, and the shadow forth from the tree. Blessed are we as we move through darkness and through light. With our centering words each week, we draw on one of the sources of our living tradition. Today's words come from the Reverend Norbert Capek, the creator of the flower ceremony in 1923 in Prague. It is worthwhile to live and fight courageously for sacred ideals. Oh, blow ye evil winds into my body's fire, my soul you'll never unravel. Even though disappointed 1,000 times, or fallen in the fight, and everything would worthless seem, I have lived amidst eternity. Be grateful, my soul. My life was worth living. Let us follow the sound of the bell into our gathering silence. Will you please join in as Bruce leads us in singing Come Sing a Song With Me. I know the Stuffies know this one. You sang it yesterday at your own worship service. For the rest of us, the words are in your order of service. Will the following people please turn on your video so we can see you? Jimba Siji and Pamela Shore, who are helping with this ceremony. And then our new members, Christopher Kahn, Grace Budikanak, Sean Hansen, Tamara Har, Kevin Crane, Chris Castle, and Dick Elsley. It is a solemn and happy occasion when some among us choose to make the commitment to become members, and it is so good to welcome you now. Please join me in honoring our newest members and their decision to join our congregation. Now, other congregation members, as you know, it's hard to speak in unison, so please do leave your audio muted and your video off, but join me in saying our part of the litany just as we sing together. So let us say together, congregation, we pledge to transform ourselves. How will you transform yourselves here? New members?
We will come with questioning minds and open hearts, continue to explore the spiritual path that brought us here, and welcome the challenges and changes we experience.
We pledge to transform each other. How will you transform others here?
We will
We
join
will
with
join
others
with
in
others
the
in
life of the congregation. Listen well,
encourage to
share
share
our own journeys,
Be
be
generous,
generous, kind,
kind,
and patient.
We pledge to transform the world. How will you transform the world through your membership here?
Knowing that what
knowing that
happens
what
on
happens on
Sunday
Sunday
is just a
is
prelude
a
to what happens on Monday. We will take what we learn here
here
into our
to our
decisions
decisions as citizens, neighbors, family, workers, friends, and members
of
of
the
the
interdependent
web
web
of existence.
Congregation, will you be their partners in all these promises? I know I will say as a member of the congregation, we will. Will you extend a warm welcome to each of our new members, beginning now, remembering when you too were a newcomer here? We will.
We will.
Pamela?
Okay. Can you hear me?
We can.
Oh, good. Okay. Once upon a time, signing the membership book was what made someone a member of UUCPA. Now we sign cards, as you will have already done. And the book is more symbolic. But when we gather once more, we look forward to your signatures being added to those of the many people you see here today. Will you please respond, I will, when I call your name? And now I have to get to the names here. Christopher Can.
I will.
Grace Budik-Canuck.
I will.
Don Hansen.
I will.
Tamara Har.
I will.
Kevin Crane.
I will.
Chris Castle.
I will.
Dick Elsley.
I will.
I think it's, will you, right. So Jim, I think you're up.
Okay. My name is Jim Basiji. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. We of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Palo Alto have adopted a covenant to inspire and guide our interaction with one another. So let us speak this intention together with the members of the congregation. Please rise in body and spirit.
We come together to create a community committed to a free, open, and loving search for spiritual meaning. Our community calls on each of us to extend compassion and kindness, to act from courage rather than fear, to treat one another with respect, and to honor each other's contributions. We commit to listen to one another, to acknowledge and address disagreements, and to express our concerns directly with those involved. We embrace diversity as our differences enrich us. Embrace democracy that allows our voices to be heard. We embrace forgiveness that opens us to heard. We embrace this life, for it is what we have together. We accept responsibility for making our community everything we want it to be. Thank you all for the ways you have already enriched the life of this congregation. Thank you also to all those who could not join the ceremony, whose names are listed below. We look forward to continuing the journey with you. Let us all say, welcome.
Welcome.
We as well have other joys and sorrows to share. So please send them along to joyconcern@uucpa.org or post them in the chat box provided by Zoom, and they will be shared aloud. I'll begin and give you a little time to add yours there by sharing a few things that I know of already or that are maybe on all our minds today. One is it's Father's Day, so happy Father's Day. If you are a father or have the role of a father or have had a father, we thank you and appreciate you. Hope you have a wonderful day today. I'd like to share for me, and I know for others, a mixture of joy and sorrow at having our flower communion today. When the pandemic began, I thought, well, we won't have our flower communion until we can all meet in person. And when it became clear that that was going to be many months, I thought, well, better for us to gather this way and gather our flowers this way than not at all. But it's still a sorrow that not all our senses are a part of it. We're not gathered in this room with these flowers and each other. So I encourage you to reach out to one another at the coffee hour time and individually all through the week. And maybe you have a flower there in person right outside your door or elsewhere in your room. Smell it, feel its leaves and petals and thorns, and we'll have more than just a visual flower communion today. It is so much to take in, all the joys and sorrows, all people's accomplishments and worries. So let us have this silent time to allow our hearts to expand, to hold all that we've heard, to feel our connections to one another, to the wider world, how precious they are, how they bring us pain and joy and comfort in our own times of trouble. And let us hold everyone who has spoken and everyone who is in our hearts gently in prayer. Blessed be. Our reading today is from the writer Annie Dillard. We are here to witness creation and to abet it. We are here to notice each thing so each thing gets noticed. Together we notice not only each mountain, shadow, and each stone on the beach, but especially we notice the beautiful faces and complex natures of each other. We are here to bring to consciousness the beauty and power that are around us and to praise the people who are here with us. We witness our generation and our times. We watch the weather. Otherwise, creation would be playing to an empty house. I'm thinking on this flower communion morning about same and different. Same and different are one of the things that we learn from our very earliest years. It's a game, it's in a book, it's in a television show. How are these two things the same? How are they different? You know that song from Sesame Street? One of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong. And I'm thinking about the ways in which we are all the same and ways in which we're different. As John F. Kennedy said, and as the choir sings in the beautiful anthem by Mark Carlson that they sing for us now and then, we all inhabit this small planet. We all breathe the same air. We all cherish our children's future. And we are all mortal. There are a couple of other things that I think we all have in common, but that's about it. We live, we die, we all need air and water and a few other things. In those ways, we're all the same. There was an important court case a couple of weeks ago coming from the Supreme Court that said that nationwide, no matter who you are as an employer, you cannot fire people for being lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender. You cannot be fired for being gay. Someone can't say, oh, this person would do this job well, but we don't like their gender identity. No, the court said, too bad, whatever you think about that, everybody has the right to have their jobs, regardless of their gender identity or sexual orientation. It was a great day. Now, my friend Diana Maclaine, she's another Unitarian Universalist minister, she noticed that a lot of people were saying, this court case affirms that we're all the same. And in one way, we are. We all get equal protection of the law. That's really, really important. But as she went on to say, it's also important to acknowledge that we're not all the same. She wrote, I am not the same as a straight person, although we are of equal value and should be treated that way. I am not the same as a person of color, though we are of equal value and should be treated that way. I am not the same as an immigrant, though we are of equal value and should be treated that way. I am not the same as a transgender person, though we are of equal value and should be treated that way. Our identities, Diana said, are not the same. The experiences that shaped us and continue to shape us are not the same. Our cultures are not the same. I hope for a day when we can celebrate people with full recognition of the differences that make us who we are, rather than even inadvertently erasing those differences by saying, we're all the same. I agree. I hope for that day too, and that day came a little closer this month with that decision. And how great it was that it came during June, Pride Month. And one thing we're all about as a church is bringing that day closer, the day when we celebrate all our differences and affirm that we should all be treated the same, all be treated as equals, because we all have equal value. And that's really what Pride Month is all about, not just for LGBT folks and all people of different sexual orientations, gender identities, different practices, but a whole attitude of not making us the same or saying we are the same, saying we are different, we are diverse, and we still have the same rights. We still all live and die and need certain things, and we deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. It's about letting us each be different and celebrating those differences so we don't feel that if I'm strange, if I'm weird, if I'm different than the people around me, then I won't be treated the way I should. This court didn't make this decision because we're all the same. It made this decision because the ways that we are different shouldn't matter when it comes to keeping a job. All that matters there should be, can we do the work? So it's like saying, none of us is just like the others, but all of us belong. Now, I'm looking at you all, stuffies, who are here with us today for this flower communion, and I can see that you are all different, and I know some ways you're all the same. You're all dolls and stuffies. You all love your humans, and your humans love you. Those are ways that you are the same. And then there's ways that you're different. You are so many different colors and sizes and species, and that's great because we don't all have to be the same in order to recognize each other's dignity and worth and treat each other with respect and compassion. And then I know some ways that, I know some things about you that tell me other things that are different. Like Momo, I learned about you this weekend that you love to color. I also love to color. But there are people who find coloring really boring, even like they find it stressful instead of fun and relaxing, and that's okay, right? There's room for people and animals who don't like to color. And Francis, I know you really love barbecued algae. That's your favorite food. And I know that that isn't what everybody ate this weekend. Maybe there wasn't any barbecued algae, but there was stuff that everybody would like. You found some common ground. Squeak, for you, there had to be eucalyptus leaves. And so we, as a community, make sure that everybody has what they need. So there were eucalyptus leaves, and not everybody had to eat eucalyptus leaves. Just each person in their difference gets what they need. Just as these flowers have some things they all need the same, and some things that they need are a little different because they are different kinds of plants. And that's how we thrive as a community, is supporting each other in our differences as well as recognizing the way we're all the same. I bet it made a really interesting time for you all to get to know each other because of the ways that you're different. So flower communion is like practice for contemplating each other's complex natures. To set to one side judgment, whom I like, whom I don't, who scares me, who angers me, who is like me and who is not like me. And just, while all those things are true, to practice seeing people as they are, each complex, each unique, all with their various differences, in addition to the ways that we are the same. Flower communion is practice. So we are going to have a nice long time to contemplate the flowers that people sent in, the pictures that people sent. We're going to have 10 minutes over Veronica's beautiful music to just look at these flowers. And as different ones come and go, let's appreciate what is different about each one. Even the ones of the same species and color, they're each unique. And just see them for what they are and appreciate that. Let us now begin our flower communion. And now let us sing once again. Bruce will lead us in singing I Know This Rose Will Open. The lyrics are in your order of service, and it does repeat because it's a very short chant. Let's sing.
I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open.
Within the heart of the flower, the fountain of beauty. Within the heart of the community, a fire that warms and dances. Within the heart of each of us, a spark of the spirit of life. Holy, holy, holy. I'd like to invite you all to now turn your audio and your video on. Please stay after the benediction and we'll be randomly assigned to breakout rooms. If you want to move to another room after a while, come back to the main room and the host who will be there can send you to a new one. The rooms will stay open for 15 minutes. Now, let us say our benediction together. Go out
into the world in peace.
Be of good courage.
Hold fast to good. Return no one evil for evil.
Strengthen the faint-hearted.
Weak. Help the suffering.
Rejoice in beauty.
Love with words.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen.